Hey everyone, welcome back to Kotlin with Compose, your go-to channel for everything Android development with Jetpack Compose. If you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. Today, we are diving into something super practical, how to access the gallery, open the camera, and also display the selected images or captured image in the image view using Jetpack Compose along with their permissions. Whether you are building a profile picture feature or a camera app, this tutorial will give you the tools you need. Before we jump into the code, let's quickly break down what we will be covering in this video. First, we'll be setting up the permissions and we'll also be accessing the galleries and we'll also be launching the camera and then we will be displaying the image in the image view. So let's get started. So as you can see, I have created a new project called camera app, and so first let's go to the Android manifest and add some permissions. So we are working with camera, so we will be accessing the camera permissions, and since we will be also accessing the gallery, so we need to read media images, and so let's add the feature tag for camera hardware, and with this I think we are good to go now. So this is all for the permissions that we will be needing, and we'll also require a Coil library. So Coil library is basically for loading async images, so basically from the gallery. So let's add the Coil version here. So I'll be using Coil version 2.6.0, and let's add the coil dependencies. So let's add module here, that is io.coil.dash kt and coil-compose. Let's give the version reference to the coil, and now let's call it in our dependency too. Let's add here implementation leads dot coil, and let's sync. So the coil has been implemented, and now let's go to our main activity class, and here this is the default boilerplate generated by the Android Studio. And now let's remove this greeting, we don't need this, and let's also remove this preview, don't need the preview I think. And now let's put some code here. So first let's define a box, and let's give it a size of max, and let's add the inner padding here, and let's content alignment to top center, and then let's add row, and let's add it to the bottom of the box. So you can do that by placing the align here and alignment to bottom center, so that's good. And now let's give it a horizontal arrangement to its children, so that will be, let's give them space evenly, and also the vertical alignment, let's align center. And now let's add button. So this button will help us to open the camera. So let's create another button for opening gallery or image file. So these two buttons will be using for opening the camera and the gallery. So now let's set the variables for our camera and other resources. Like, let's add the context here, so which is local context.current, and let's add var image URI by remember, and let's add mutable instead of, let's say this is of type URI of nullable, and let's set it null, and let's import the URI, and let's import the mutable state setter and getter too. That's good. And let's move to, we will also require the bitmap for this, because the object that we get from the camera is of bitmap type. So let's add bitmap to null type, and let's add null here. So that's for variable for image URI and for bitmap image. And now let's add the launcher for, let's add for gallery launcher, and we can use remember launcher for activity here, which is of type result, and let's add contract. Let's import this, yeah. And now let's add the contract. So our contract will be activity result contracts dot, so this is for gallery, so we will get content here, and it will give us the URI, and we need to keep that URI in our image, so we will be keeping. So while we will access the gallery image, we want to make our camera value to null at that time, so we will add null to this. And since we have declared it of remember and we have not instant lazy, so we need to provide the file here. So now let's add another camera launcher, and similar to the gallery, it's remember for add activity contacts. Now it's for take picture preview and yeah. So this is it, and it will give us a type value of bitmap. So let's store it here, and at this time let's make image URI null. So that's all for gallery launcher and camera launcher. So now let's move to the permissions, and we also be using the permissions using the composable only. So for permissions, let's add cam permission first, and we can use similarly for like remember launcher for activity results, and we need to provide the activity contacts for to request permissions here. We can also request the multiple permissions if you add here as, and but let's do it solo way. So we'll add camera permissions and gallery permissions separately. So to add the gallery permission, camera permission first. So if it is granted or not, it will be of type boolean here. And so if it is granted, then what we will do, so let's first create a toast. While we don't grant the permission, then it will be having the context and permission denied. So let's complete the toast here. So yeah, and if the permission is granted, then we can launch this camera launcher. So let's launch camera launcher from here. Launch image URI, or let's add it null because we have not said related to the image URI overhead. So let's add null here. And now let's go for the storage permissions, or you can also say it, call it like let's call it photo permission, and let's add remember launcher for activity result, and our contracts will be for request permission and yeah, request permissions, and it's granted of type boolean. And if it is granted, then what we're going to do, first let's copy this else part, and if the photo permission is granted, then we'll be using this, we'll be launching the gallery launcher, gallery launcher.launch, and as we are trying to access the images, so it's image /asterisk. So in this way we can use the images. So that's it for this. And now we have also created the button. So on pressing the open camera icon, what we will do here is we will actually request the permissions here, like camera permissions dot launch, and we have to provide here like the permissions that we are requesting. So manifest dot permission dot camera. So we are requesting the camera permissions, and here we will be requesting the photo permission, and we can do like android dot manifest dot permission dot read images. Yeah, so that's it for the permissions and launching. So now let's create a image view that will hold our image. So in the case if bitmap value is not null and or image URI is not equals to null, in this case what we will do, like if both the cases is true and if the value is null, then we will write nothing to display, and let's give it a size of 18 sp, and let's import the sp, and let's also give the font weight to bold. And if we have the value of like bitmap or the image URI, so what we can do is like if we have the image URI and if this is not null, and at that case we can use the coil async image, and to the model what we can do is we can request for the image request dot builder and provide the local but we have context, so let's provide the context here, and let's add data, and our data will be, so we are using the image that is actually from image URI is from the gallery, so we'll be using image URI, and let's build. And for the content descriptions, let's add null here, and for image loader I don't think we need this, but let's add at this modifier, so modifier dot fill max width, and let's fill the width of 0.8 f, so it will not cover the whole screen. So similarly for bitmap image, if we have accessed from the camera value, then we can check for the null value, and we can simply put the async image in the image because it also supports the bitmaps, as you can see there. So bitmap image is our bitmap image dot value and dot as bitmap image. So let's configure this null, and yeah, let's add the content scale here, and let's add content scale dot inside, and for this let's add content scale dot fit, and this is a null label, so it will not be null because we have already checked null here, so we can provide the not null. And I think pretty much everything is fine. So now let's run the code. I'll try running this in my real device actually. So let me just check once. So we have the context, we have image URI, we have bitmap, we have also the gallery launcher, we have camera launcher, camera permissions, and also the photo picker permissions. And so yeah, so you might be wondering like where I have actually handled the permissions. So the permissions are actually handled here, so if granted and if not granted. So if not granted, you can handle accordingly. And so this is the gallery launcher and another. So my device is ready, so now let's run this application, and let's add my device once it runs. So the app is installed, and you can see there is nothing to display here. So now let's tap on this open camera, and you can see there is the request for camera. So let's give the permissions, and you can see my camera is accessible and it has opened the camera. And let's click the picture, and yeah, that's fine. And yeah, the image is displayed there too. So now let's add the image from the gallery also. So let's add, okay, the permission is denied. So let's see what we have done. So I have asked the permission for the picture and permission for, I think here, yeah. Actually, I think I should add read external storage here. So let's fix that. Read external storage. So rerun the application, and let's see if it fixes. And yeah, it fixes. And so let's allow, and you can see we can select the image. And that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this video was very helpful for you. So if you found this video very helpful, then please give a like to this video, And if you are new to this channel, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more Android and Jetpack Compose content. So I'll see you in my next video. Till then, happy coding.